Hey guys, time for red. Symphogear GX set review. I'm getting more and more tired. Smaller sentences. First card, Bond with Kohai Chris. When this attacks, if Megadeth Fuga 2k1 soul is in the climax zone, you deal 1 damage to your opponent, so 1 damage before counter phase. Always good. During your opponent's turn, when damage taken by you isn't cancelled, if this is in the front row, look at the top card of the library, put it either on top of the library or in the waiting room. This is the ability that I foolishly refer to as bowler check and wreck, and I'm now campaigning to just call it something simple like super scry. So I'm just going to call it scry, okay? And the last effect is recollection at the start of your encore step. If there is no ignite module in your memory, this goes away. And did I mention it's a 3-2 11k 3 soul?
Woo!
Oh
Yeah,
god,
no,
it's
this is
overstated. It's broken. Bushiroad, no, why?
Oh
yeah.
no.
So the entirety of Foreign knee-jerked and hit themselves in the face with their knees when they saw this card. It was
Pretty much.
it was a very interesting sight to see. I do agree with their general consensus that this is one of the best cards on the set, if not the best cards. And spoiler, I'm giving it the meta rating, but it is not Marika.
Oh,
I
it,
don't care
it
who
is. It
tells you
is not even close to
This
Marika.
is far, far from Marika, but
it's a
they certainly
fairly
slapped a
good card.
lot of things onto this card to try to make it as playable as possible.
I think.
Yep, so go on.
I think this card is absolutely insane. It's not Marika, but like, not even Yami is Marika, because Marika was a whole another beast of problems.
Yeah. This card is just very solid.
I'm
I
assuming we
am
all call the card good.
Oh, yes.
yeah, it's
But
good, and I'm calling it meta because it is a reason you want to play this set.
I
Just like
I am
every
also going to give it a meta. This is like one of the better finishers like printed in general.
one of the better end game cards. Not so much finisher as like a card you want to have on the field in the end game.
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, I think I want it on the field in the end game too because I can top check whenever I take damage. But
Yeah, that's like the best thing about it is if you can somehow field 3 of these and you don't kill your opponent, you at least get a chance to not die.
and
It's
then maybe a
very
chance to
likely you
go
won't
again.
die.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you get to swing in with 3/3 souls, which you can customize however you want. The fact you need a 2k1 soul for the burn makes me discount the burn effect significantly, but I'm happy enough with a 2 cost 3 soul 11k that has this alternate scry ability, which is just exceedingly powerful.
See, they told me Toma was bad. They told me side attacking level 3s for 1 was a bad idea.
You can't side attack Toma for 1.
Well, no, you can only side attack Toma for whatever damage you're doing, but Toma can side attack for 1.
Yes, he can.
And honestly, like, that precision is super duper good. It's, at time, it's a shame that it's not on a 1k1 or a gate, because then you could really just do your best Rin Archer impression, where you just side attack everything and burn 1, deal 1 damage.
That's why I feel like with what they were trying with this card is it feels like an updated Green Archer.
Does it?
It's
Sort of.
Being
so-
able to side for 1 or 2 and ping 1 on every row rather than being able to side for 1 on only 1 row is a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I think they probably decided that Rin Archer was almost a mistake.
Yeah, I think they probably think that because you don't usually see effects like that with a +2 soul.
Like it's got a
Heals for some
heal,
reason.
it's got a climax combo,
And it's
and it
got
still
pump.
has another effect, which is not a bad one. Like
You can pump. You can discard cards to make it bigger.
it is very good.
Rin Archer is one hell of an uncommon.
Extremely good, yes. But this card is it definitely hangs with the best end game cards insofar as defensively orientated cards do.
Yeah, it's
I don't think the burn is that great. It's fine, I guess.
the burn is fine. It's not
If you get 3
Marika.
of this, if you get 3 of this in 2k1 soul, then sure. The other thing that makes me dock marks from it, well, not that I'm really docking many marks, is that it sucks as an advanced summon.
Oh, I would
Yeah,
never,
you
ever,
can't
ever
advance
advance summon this.
Yeah.
Also, like, are there any other Chris's from any other sets that you could actually use as like fodder for this?
No, there's the PR CD card, which is just not great, and then there is like nothing else. I'm pretty sure, just level 2s and level pumping.
Cool. So yeah, you're not advanced summoning this card. You really shouldn't, anyways.
Yeah. And there also aren't other good Chris's to advance summon, so perished for what?
So good card,
It's a
very good
really
card.
pretty card as well. I never really looked at it clearly.
I honestly think this might just be the best card in the set, but it's not the overwhelming card that foreign knee-jerked,
I mean,
towards.
when they actually reprint Marika, we'll readdress everything.
Collective knee jerk and shattered their own glasses. No, nothing is ever that good in Weiss. Nothing is ever that broken. And people need to realize that. Yami was the closest thing to broken that they've printed recently, and that's still a deck you can race, so it's really not that big a deal. Good card, though.
Yes, good
I
card.
mean, if you think this is the best card in the set and you're not giving it a meta rating, what
Oh,
are
I
you giving
did.
a meta
He did,
rating?
he did,
Oh,
he did.
did you? Okay,
He did.
sure.
I just didn't mark it.
Sick. Alright, because I was really... Yeah,
I said it fair.
my only other meta card is... I guess it's a fairly predictable one, to be honest. So this card is great, and we can move on to a slightly less good card.
Cool. It's a Maria.
So...
At least I think that's
own,
her name.
Yeah, her own Brilliance, Maria, 3/11k, 3 soul as well. When this
Special.
plays from hand to stage, check the top card of your deck. If it's a music character, you can deal 1 to your opponent. Return 2 characters from your waiting room to library and shuffle it. So you put 2 more damage back into your library. When this attacks, you may pay cost. If you do, this gains 1k till the end of the opponent's next.
I don't really know of any instances where that second ability is ever usable unless
like,
you're.
it's like flavor text. Maybe if you want to like attack and you have 1 card left in library and you want to compress some more, I guess.
Or most are you're 3/6 with like 1 card left in deck, and you're like, oh, let me put some cards back in so I don't die and try to actually finish you off.
I guess that's a relevant thing to do.
Hey man, if you're at 3 cards or 1 card in deck, you can also use it to put triggers back in, or not triggers if you really don't want to, which
This
you
is
probably
true. You
don't
have
with
almost
this
no cards
deck.
left in deck. You can actually just choose what to put back in your deck, pretty much.
This is an extraordinary corner case that we should stop talking about unless people think it's actually good. And the last ability is the same as every other
Level 3.
every other level 3 protagonist that isn't green in this set, which is if you don't have Ignite module in your memory, this card dies at your encore step.
So this is a playable card for me. It's not even good. It is like a solid card, but it's not good. I wouldn't actually play this.
I think it's playable only
I
because
think it's very playable.
There's no consistent way to top check. If there was more than just a single card that top checked in the set, like I would maybe think this would be better if you could guarantee it. Also because this is a set that plays events, there's a lot of mischances.
Someone's going to be that dick who plays 1 Maria, gets the top check, and then combos 3 Arget Lambs from their hand, and that's going to be really annoying.
God, that's going to be really annoying.
Wait, Arget Lam? Which one is that?
Arget Lam, which means silver hand, thanks to Aragon. It's
where you just bounce it. Oh.
Yeah, it's her advanced summon.
Oh, that's really cheeky, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually great. That's like something I did not even consider.
That is the reason I didn't write this card off completely.
I thought it was playable without that. Now it's just funny.
It's stupid. It's fine, I think.
I mean, you could theoretically like pay for stock and 4 cards in hand and burn
them to death, correct?
Like 6 times. I don't know.
Yeah. No, the other Maria's a heal, so that actually makes Arget Lam a fairly decent event in terms of advanced summoning. And a 3/11k 3 soul isn't the worst thing to advance summon if you also get something else out of it.
I mean, if you just play a gate, you can still side attack level 3s for more 1 damage pings.
I guess,
yeah.
But I think that the better advanced summon events are definitely the Hibiki and Tsubasa ones. Even though you can have stupid shenanigans with this card.
I think the super shenanigans are super stupid shenanigans, but I think that's as far as they go.
Yeah, I'd give this playable because it's not ridiculous.
I love stupid shenanigans, and I don't think this is ridiculous.
Maria, Resurrected Gear. This is literally the ancient double R Yuri support. all of your other music characters gain 500, and when another music character is reversed in battle, choose one of your characters, and that character gains 500 power for the turn.
Hashtag rarity creeped. Playable.
Hmm
Any objections?
I don't think this is good enough.
It's not good enough with like the utility that most Symphogear decks are going to require to be in their back row, but it's a fine card in the Maria Subasa deck, I feel, and that's probably the only thing you put it in.
Is there a Maria Subasa deck? I don't know where Subasa falls on the spectrum of antagonist to anti-hero, because I haven't watched the series.
Is that what Maria and Chris are supposed to be?
Maria is basically just the replacement for Kanade for Subasa.
Oh, okay. So why isn't she comboed with Subasa?
She's comboed with Subasa in the sense of
Story, I guess.
story and like the 1-0 we're going to get to later. It's the Bonder is a Subasa card.
Okay, sure.
Okay. This is still playable. You won't actually probably play it, but like it's a playable effect.
I wish there was I think we need to rework the rating system, because I don't think this is actually as good as other playables, but I also don't think it's bad.
Yep. Well, we can
I
fix that
can't
another day.
can't actually think of a deck I want to put that in. Chris, Special Training by the Beachside. Now this is a good card.
Yes.
It's a level 1 bomb. And 1 cost, when the damage dealt by this is cancelled, you may salvage a character and drop a card from hand to waiting room.
I like pay 1 filters. Those are fun.
It's not a reliable filter, but it is very nice when you like trigger a
It's just
2k1
it's
soul.
just like an extra bonus. Like, oh, that's a 2 soul trigger. Oh, if it didn't stick, at least I get to pay it out and filter. And if it did stick, well, I stuck at least 3 damage, and that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, the card is fine. It's like all those other on-cancel pay 1s. I think I like the pay 1 draw in Vivid Red and Persona Q and probably other series
That's
better.
because those are pluses, right?
Yes, but
Yes.
this is fine as well. It's
I
fine.
still think it's a good card.
Selection. Card selection is good. No, it's definitely a good card. I would actually just put it as good, because level 1 bombs are still quite strong.
And you can't run Alkanoise in your deck, so you're going to have to settle for this.
This card is great.
The main thing is I'm not sure exactly which deck this falls into.
I think they're definitely
It's
right.
the yellow-red deck.
You might be a little bit hard-pressed, depending on what you choose to run at level 1 to fit in
Yeah, because
the red bombs.
if we're talking specifically yellow-red, like this would be fighting apples for like space plus other utility at level 1.
Apples is only 4 cards, and then you play like maybe the Climax combo and maybe the CDPR, and then you have room for 2 or 3 of this.
How many CDPRs are there?
Not CD,
One
magazine
for
PR,
each
my bad.
character. Yeah, he's stuck with magazine specifically, but
Yeah,
there's actually a lot of
dumb.
CDPRs.
There's one for every character, including Carol, I believe.
From both, from G
One
and
for
G.
one for Captain Planet. Alrighty.
Yeah. This card is fine. It's a bomb, and sometimes you'll get a free filter and hand selection out of it.
Not free.
And that's true. Yeah, maybe that's true. Sometimes you just get hand selection out of it if you need it. If you don't need it, then whatever.
The biggest issue with bombs is that bombs always have the natural drawback of opening up your field to you taking more
which
soul
is-
damage.
That's definitely not good right now. But at the same time, this can get rid of a lot of decks which were kind of reliant on some amount of field to keep them going, or at least to keep them really above board. Like Girlfriend Beta, for example, is fine if you bomb their cards, but they're even better off if you don't bomb their cards. So you'd rather just bomb their cards, make them play out their hand, and then not let them refill so easily, than not do that.
Yeah. I mean, when
So
given the
sure.
decision between trading and not trading against Girlfriend Beta, I'd rather just trade most of the time. But
This is a 1-for-1, even ignoring the other ability, which is fine.
well, the other ability's not a 1-for-1, so you're not like you're paying a stock and then replacing a
You're
card.
playing
in
a
your hand.
stock. If it like canceled your free filter to be like, yeah, this card is like amazing, I would say it's good immediately. But let's say this card is playable. I don't feel it's great and fits into every deck.
That's fair. Alright, so the next card is Maria, Seeking Strength. This is the bondable one you were talking about. It's a
Yes.
1/0 4K. For each of the other music characters gains 500 power, and tap a music character to gain 1k for the turn.
Cool. I'm not a fan of the second effect in general.
Neither am I. It's also very subpar in terms of power.
And then the last point is, why would I run this over Hibiki in yellow?
Well, if you're running a red level 1 for something like the
red.
Horizon Spear. This card's bond is a top check, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is the on-play top check.
Well, there you go. If you're prepared to do very cheeky shenanigans at level 3, this is your deck.
Or you could do it at level 2 if you want to be a real...
I don't know if burning someone for 6 at level 2 is the best game plan.
The issue is I don't think Argetlum has a bond. Unless you want to play the Kanade from the first set, which punches you to get a level 2 or higher event.
The 2 or higher?
I believe so. Regardless, this card is, I think, very subpar, and a lot of the value is in that its bonder is a top check, and that it is bondable at all.
I think this is a niche card. I would contemplate running the Bonder without this in that deck.
I still think it's playable, but it's definitely not good, and I don't know about putting it as a niche.
It exists.
I see.
Yeah, it does exist.
The bond's lower to
Level 2 or lower, my
level
bad. So you,
lower events.
you can't get beef stroganoff, my bad.
Can't get you strong enough.
That beef stroganoff has tomatoes in it.
We'll talk about that later.
We should make sure to post a
it's on my
recipe for
mind.
beef stroganoff in the
No,
comments.
no, in the comments, no, that's actually going to be the blog post.
Oh, that too.
Moving on. So, Chris, Fear of Losing.
Is this the anti-change counter?
This is my other meta card.
Is this...
I think it's probably everyone's meta card.
Yeah,
It's the ghost counter.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's ghost counter, boys. There's a
It's
reason
2-1.
why like you just ran this card in a lot of decks.
It's 2-1, 2-5 counter. 2 costs. Sack a character from stage. When you use this card's backup, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a character with a level higher than your opponent's level and put it in the waiting room. But that's not the important part. The important part is in the cost of that extra ability. Puts a character from your stage in the waiting room.
So yeah, that combat step never happens because there's nothing to fight. Which means
Yeah.
all those on reverse effects that are so sweet and get you
Yeah.
taking extra damage, not happening.
Yeah, like come and play clock kicks. What are those?
As an added fun, it is possible to get extra value against certain decks just by anti-changing their early plays, because they might not have good on reverse effects at level 2 or level 3.
Yeah, I was an absolute jerk against my friend playing Symphogear the other day because he's got the 1-0 counter, which just provides passive level. And I turned my my anti-change counter into just straight up money.
Oh yes.
Literally
That's pretty rough.
Little Buster's money, because plus level is not always good.
Yeah, it is the unfortunate thing about the plus level effect being on both turns, is that you do open yourself up to anti-change counters.
I really hate the idea of paying so much stock for something that's so easily played around. It's not like money where you're guaranteed anti-damage, but if you're playing against bad opponents, this is actually probably better than money in most situations.
Yeah, this card is good.
I definitely
Yeah, no.
like this version the most because it gives you like an out to a lot of cards. Like the ones that are interchange where it's just like discard cards from hand is like.
Oh, that is garbage. The Tlavru one is so bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, this one is the best version by far. So there's a reason Nisekoi is still so ridiculously good despite not having that many finishes. It's because this stops the opponent from finishing them, and also because Onodera is not a fair card.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
Moving on.
Yep, so Maria, new power.
Oh, it's
This
a
is
2-1. Off to a good start.
It's a 2-1-7-5. Oh, the first ability has the word 3 in it. Would you like to guess what it does?
No, this one says 3 or more music characters.
Damn it, he can read it.
I see
If you're
I see
3
the
or more-
brackets with the traits in it too. So
Yeah. If you're 3 or more other music characters, it gains 1k, so it's another 2-1-8-5. And 1 cost, when this attacks, if Serenade is in the climax zone, which I think is the gate? one of the gates. I know there are two gates, so it's likely to be one of the gates, right?
I believe it is the gate, yes.
Yeah. If you do, you can pay one, then you salvage two and add a card from hand to waiting room. And this gains 1,000 power for the turn, and all of your characters lose 6 soul.
Yes. Yes, yes. Can't forget the losing the 6 soul. Or if you're even unluckier, you ditch 4.
Well,
Well, I can
look,
just for climaxes, though.
as an LB player, if I was playing in Symphogear, I would not expect to see this card against me.
If they play this card and you're like, I really wish I had Broske right now.
No, like, unless they go first, and then they discard both the Maria Gate and this card at the very beginning, I wouldn't actually bother getting Kyosuke out.
That's fine. They'll discard this gate plus the PR Horizon Spirit Gate. You're just like, oh, there's no way I can lose.
He's right though. If he's got 8 gate mono Maria, then yes, I get Kyosuke, and then I win the game.
Most decks will also just grab. Well, not most decks. One of the unfortunate things about Two Lover getting anti-salvage is that it just push salvage decks out of relevance again.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. That Mikon didn't need to exist.
Yeah. So this card is bad. Is it objectively bad? No. Is it bad right now? It's pretty bad right now.
I think it's bad even if anti-salvage wasn't a thing.
I do not believe this is a playable card, unfortunately.
Alrighty. We're in agreement on the bad scale.
Yeah, no,
Oh, we also got back to alchemy.
yeah, Autoscore Misha. So this is a bomb, and it's a 0015 bomb for level 0, obviously, and 1 cost. When this is reversed, you may pay cost. If you do, it goes to memory.
Yeah, level 0 bombs are great. Also in
Yeah.
alchemy, so you're going to run 3 of it, because you need it.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Don't know.
It's going to feel real terrible when you don't draw that in your starting hand and have to run that in later on.
You're going to feel bad. It's going to feel real bad. Next.
The next card is a 00 Chris.
Isn't this like a Digiclimax salvage?
This is a very good card. It's a come to play, ditch
yes.
climax from hand, and then salvage your music character.
It's slightly worse than the Mariko in Two Lover. It doesn't top check. Oh man.
Well,
Oh man.
I think the Two Lover one is a startup, right?
Two Lover 1 you have to pay stock and it's a startup.
Yeah,
I
that's
prefer
the
the startup
TD one,
version.
right?
Yeah, the TD
I
one.
like this one better because I don't like paying stock.
I think it depends on the deck which one is better for it. That said, this is a very good card. It's not actually quote unquote good, but it's I would play 2 of it.
It's good. I put it as good.
It's a good card. There's not a whole lot of ways to discard climaxes outside of paying for searchers.
In this
This is
sense,
a great
this is going to be
card.
taking up a very similar deck space as the 1-0 Global 500 Hibiki that lets you...
So this is splashable. That Hibiki is not.
This is true.
Yes.
So
I would play my favorite card in Nisekoi, aside from the 3/2 Onodera, is the 0/0 America that lets you ditch climax.
good card.
And even though that one also top checks, this card is similar in functionality.
Next up is is our dear friend's new favorite archetype, apparently.
I think it's just a great archetype. It's Marie and Tsubasa on the stage again. 1/1/5k. If the cost of the opponent of this is 0 or lower, this gains +1 level and 3/5. So it becomes a level 2 8/5 against any cost 0 opponents.
Woo! It's big.
Yeah, it's just really strong.
I don't know if I really justify running more than one copy in a deck though, because it's a very tech-oriented option.
One of the recent Dog Days lists that won was actually running 3 of this.
I would
It's
not
not-
run more than 2.
I just think it's a great card, and it's fine if you guys don't agree, but
I think it's fine. I think, again, 8/5 is a pretty okay number to be at. It's not big enough for some things, but it's big enough for most things.
It's just really good. Like, they need to have something pretty big to deal with it at all.
One of the unique things about this versus the other 9K effective walls at level 1, though, is that it is largely independent of itself, or of other cards, where the other 9K walls, again, that would almost exclusively be Rider.deck and Terraformers. They require you to have a specific field set up to get there, and this doesn't. So you have that advantage.
This set never wants to see like terraformers ever.
Oh no. If you see 8K walls across from you or 9K walls across from you, you're like, oh, fun. This is going to be a fun game. That said, I think Rider.deck is probably a bit better than Red Green Terraformers.
Yeah,
This is a playable card for me. I don't think it's great. I think it's more of a really solid filler / tech option.
Yeah, it's a very playable tech card. Like I'd run 2 at the max. I really couldn't. Like running 3 is like basically playing the game of knowing what your opponents were going to play ahead of time.
I mean, if you're playing against like 2 Lover, like boom, they don't have anything that's costed until level 3.
It's just a great card against the entire meta. Like, how many decks don't run costed characters? You always have a target, and you force them to put a costed character in front of this to do anything at all. I mean,
true.
sure, it loses to literally every costed character ever.
That's not true. There are costless characters that can beat this.
Such as?
Well, besides like my usual trolling crap with like Gun Shooter.
Such as?
What? I just said Gun Shooter.
I know.
There are several cards in Gun Shooter actually that can get over it while being costless, but that's
Can we
just because
talk
it's
about
kind
a
of a
set
cheeky
that
deck.
isn't Gigant Shooter? Which Gigant Shooter doesn't exist outside your locals and Europe?
Oh yes, it topped Italy. That was great.
That's amazing.
It got second in Italy. Hey man, I'm now playing a tournament-relevant deck apparently.
Apparently.
Tier
Yeah,
horror.
no, what beats this easily?
Let's see. Theoretically, you can get over with 2 Lover, but that's an investment. So like, there aren't very many cost 0 cards that I can think of.
There aren't very many. That's why this card is actually good.
I guess you can also still get over with Yellow Girlfriends.
I guess, but even that's within counter range.
Yeah, it's still in counter range.
Yeah, like a 1/0 counter, you'll get over Yellow Girlfriends.
Yep.
You know, you do pay 1 for this, so it is a little difficult to kind of play. I guess everything's main deck.
You
in
pay
this game.
1, pray they don't have a costed character to answer this immediately.
Well, you'll usually know whether you play this or not. Like, what costed characters does Girlfriend Beta play, which can deal with this?
2 1s
Like,
mostly.
they play the 1/1 Clock Core Sire, I guess.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
A lot of decks just can't do anything against it.
I mean, like,
against
Blue
this
Friends
Guilty-
actually doesn't run any level 1 costed characters, so like...
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
they do. The 1/1 Sire. They
Oh, yeah,
run at least
sure.
one of that. Guilty Crown does literally nothing against this. Index does literally nothing against this, unless you're weird like me and run the
What
1/1
Guilty Crown
vanilla.
destroys this card.
What does Guilty Crown have that beats this?
The 1/1
The 1/1
Inori. That's
Inori.
their entire
No,
level.
no one runs green. They all run yellow.
I think the
green is
still
the
better.
best color in Guilty. I don't know who's playing Guilty Crown in your locals, but the 1/1 Inori is
No,
still
every
playable.
single Japanese winning list has been yellow. There has been no green there except for the shoe clock kick.
Japan has a lot of weird deck choices in their deck.
I
lists.
agree, and I think Japan is wrong, but that is what has been winning in Japan. Just the 1/0 guy and 1/0 vanilla shoes. I
Hey,
hate
Ty.
this. I think that's terrible.
The 1/1
that
Inori is the best option in Guilty Crown.
I also don't think 1/1 Inori is big enough, but that is
One
completely
Inori with the climax combo is like 7k by itself.
on one row.
No, it gets power from the combo.
I know.
And
On
then
one,
like another row gets 2k1 because it's on a 2k1 climax combo.
it's 7k though. That's not very big.
I mean, it's bigger than this, which is just what it's
It's
looking
going to be
at.
bigger than this because we're
Well,
talking about
every costed character is bigger than this. This is clearly a character printed to beat costless characters.
Yeah.
yes.
But
So
the
you're
thing
saying
is, I
whole
don't
argument
think
is
Guilty Crown runs the 1/1 anymore. Not in Japan, not in Southeast Asia, maybe in America, but come on, guys. America just got taken down by Tulovru without hexproof armies. I'm sorry.
That's the fault of America being too large to where none of us in California can actually afford to travel to New York to play in a Hammer Girls like little
Oh,
tournament.
just take over from heart of the cards. I'm sure you guys will do a better job.
Oh man, I really wish that
Let's-
we could organize the nationals that could be recognized by Boucherhood.
Let's leave that aside. And okay, sure, but it beats Index because Index doesn't play anything costed.
Index does
It-
not. Although if you don't have back rows, which would blow my mind if you didn't, like I guess you'd still trade with 1-0.
Or it beats Nisekoi because Nisekoi doesn't play costed cards until level 1. But yeah, it beats a bunch of stuff.
Beats
I guess
Lover.
it beats Deramas as well because most Deramas don't run 1/1s.
Beats 2-Lover, although 2-Lover can theoretically get over a slot with climax combos.
I run 1/1/1/7/5 in my build because I hate being normal. But that's just me. You can ignore me.
Well, it's like this is a meta choice of a card. Like
Yes.
it's definitely not something you just throw into a deck because you think, hey.
It's a card
If for some
which-
reason your deck, if your meta is like infested with Rider, then well, you have other problems. Your meta is infested with Rider. I don't know.
Another one's Rider. I don't know Rider infesting anyone's locals.
I don't know how that happened, but if it did, like that should be a very interesting. I don't know why everyone isn't just running 2-soul decks then.
Yeah.
Mostly because there aren't good 2-soul decks.
Just gotta play more roaches. Except roaches
So
can't side
next-
attack.
Let's
Anyways,
move on
next.
to the next card. Yeah,
Next
so
card.
Maria, special training by the beachside.
Oh
It's
dear
a
God, it's
2/1.
starting at 6K. or 7K.
Wow, she has a lot of swag going there.
Sunglasses.
2/1 7K. When this is placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a music character, add it to hand, ditch one, and change.
Oh God.
Discard 2 music characters from your hand to waiting room. If you do, you put a 3/2 Maria from your waiting room here. So, firstly, this is the Akatsuki changeover from Log Horizon, which a lot of people play because Log Horizon's level 2 game isn't amazing. You just usually sit on level 1.
The level 2 game doesn't
But-
exist.
Exactly. You just sit on your level 1, or you maybe play a changer or a 2/2 event. But this card has a very big difference when compared to that Akatsuki, which breaks this card's viability.
You
The
ditched
change
2.
cost. The change cost is the worst change cost they could ever have printed. It's not just discard 2 cards; it's discard 2 music characters.
So, like, according to Bushiroad's internal logic, this is a fairly costed effect because a card in hand is worth 2 stock. The issue is that you are not capped on how much stock you can have. You are very much capped on how many cards can be in your hand.
I do not
It's a-
believe this card is playable purely because of that changing cost.
Functionally,
You
you're,
can't even ditch a climax.
yeah, functionally, you're ditching
Yeah.
3 characters and paying 1 stock to get the level 3 out.
Effectively,
And
yes.
You want to know the best thing? You can just pay 1 and ditch 1 card to play that Maria by bouncing the same Maria.
Yep. So I'm
Why
gonna,
would you?
Yeah, this is just a bad card. I need
Yeah.
I need to put this there, and hopefully I won't have to change it anytime soon.
Well, the next card you certainly won't have to.
I'm so excited. I already see 2-1. My name is
Chris, Elite Battle Power among the Gear Bearers. 2/1 8K. When this plays from hand to stage, pump 3K if you have 4 more other music characters.
Yeah, bad card.
It's a level 3 killer, but I don't think it's even big enough to kill most level
It's
3s.
11K. It does not kill most relevant early play level 3s.
I mean,
Level
if this
3s
like
are fine, but
if this verse level 3 can gain the level with the 3000, I think it's like a decent level 3 killer, but it's just 11k is just not strong enough. I mean, heck, this set alone has 11k bases for its level 3s, so
Yep.
well, this card you could definitely bounce and replay it to get another 3K
I,
if you're running Ichival.
if only.
if only.
So next card, Chris and Hibiki and Miku, Swimming Time. Swimming Time. To all the Shana players out there, I'm so sorry. It's a 00500 support that has tap, choose a music character, it gains 500 for the turn. So the mighty double R Shana support has now fallen to common. Again, this is the third instance I think this is in a
Was
common
it common
slot
in
now.
Miku?
No, it was uncommon in Miku, I think. It was common in Nisekoi, I think. And it was uncommon in Monogatari. And it was common in Girlfriend. Oh, look, I don't actually care because this card isn't good enough.
It's a playable card, but it's not a good playable card.
I don't think it's a
You
playable
don't think it's
card.
even playable? Would you just say it's bad?
I wouldn't dedicate card slots in my deck to this card.
Whoa, you can give this thing 2 levels and it becomes the change target for 2 different requirements.
Well, you are absolutely correct. You can do that. I don't know how to respond to that.
No, he's just factually correct. Like,
Yeah, he is factually correct. I cannot make an objection without denying his factual correctness. Next card, Maria, collaboration of songstresses. Well,
sure.
you can actually pump that by 2 levels, and suddenly it turns on both Gungnir and Ichivel. Like, whoa!
Mind blown. Best part is you can just put it down and bounces your hand. You can do it again because you're probably using 2 of the 1-0 back rows to give it levels,
Yep.
right?
Look,
Oh
I
my
have it.
god!
I have that card as niche because it's niche, but whatever. Next card, Maria, collaboration of songstresses. When another music character attacks, this gains 1/5 for the turn. Encore, hand encore. So this is bad because it implies you're attacking with 3 level zeros at level 0, which you should never really do unless you're playing a brain dead rush deck or you are so far ahead in cards that you can afford it.
Yeah, bad card.
Yeah, bad card.
Well, no, you can give this 2 levels and then bounce it so you can play level 3 Maria, so it
Well,
can't be a bad card,
That's
right?
true, man. It's just like the
true.
Psychus thing. Just by having the name, you're already a better card, right?
Yeah, clearly. So this is a bad card. Chris, panicking, 004k. When your or your opponent's climax card is placed in the climax zone, put this in the waiting room.
I don't know how I feel about this.
That's really interesting.
I actually like this. I like this a lot because it's a way of saying, yeah, those nice on reverse combos at level 1. No, you don't get those.
I somehow missed this when I was going through and rating cards, so this is new to me. This card seems really good. I enjoy that it counters your opponent's 1-0 combos. I dislike that it dies when you try to soul rush with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the adequate drawback though, because like if it didn't have that, this card wouldn't be a common. It might be a rare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Also, is this like supposed to be like rapey or something?
Yes. It was
the
one
other
of those
half's-
magazine spreads, I think.
Yeah, the other half is the 2/1 Hibiki, the level Susposol.
Wait, let's. I'm gonna actually try to get this up here, side by side. Let's give me a moment. You guys can like continue to talk about random stuff.
Well, I mean, the 2/1 Hibiki is literally just called like I think like Skinship Hibiki or something like that.
Found it. Oh no. Okay, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter. All right.
You tried.
I tried. Mad regret.
You did try. So this card I think is playable. I don't know exactly how good it is, but it certainly seems to be really good against all of the 1-0 nonsense. That's 1-0 climax combo nonsense that's going around.
I agree it's playable. There are some severe drawbacks to it. If you're running any climax combo at level 3, this is now a dead draw.
Yes. Or if you're running any climax combo at level 1 yourself, this is a dead card because you can't just like have this occupy a slot in your level 1 game.
So there are times where this card looks like it's too awkward for me. I think it's more niche for me than playable, because I think the drawbacks are actually like very real for this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it has some pretty good advantages that aren't apparent at first glance.
Yeah,
Mostly because I missed this in my quick scan.
it's gonna be niche for me.
Yep.
I think I'm also going to put it in niche because the drawback is so bad, but when it does work out, it really works out in your favor.
Yeah.
hmm
Alrighty.
So Chris, reliable senpai, 1045. When fine, even when I'm around, is placed in your climax zone, that's the other gate, you may pay cost. If you do, search your library for a level 1 or lower music character and put it on any slot on the stage, then shuffle your library. When this attacks, it gains X power, where X is the number of other music characters you have.
So this like immediately reminds me of the Fate Zero caster.
It reminds me of the 1-0 Mikoto from the first Railgun set.
Yes, the 1-0 Mikoto, effectively.
Which also combos with a gate.
Oh, sweet.
And that card was kind of incredibly average. Like, remarkably average.
For then, and now this card is just actual bad.
Yeah, because you just don't have the stock to give.
Yeah.
And there's no relevant level 1 character that's worth paying the 2 stock for.
There's no relevant 1-1 you want to pay 2 stock for. Because if you
You're functionally paying 1 to tutor and then 1 to play it.
If there was like a 1-2 or 1-3 card that this card grabbed, like, it would be worth it.
Oh man, 1-3s?
It'd have to be pretty good even with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just don't think this card is great. If you want to run a Chris deck, I'm pretty sure you have better options for level 1, like just a wall level 1. And yeah, no, I guess you
has Chris in the name. Give it a level.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they put the 2 stock requirement on something that's going to restrict you to a level 1. I mean, it should just be.
It was restricted for caster as well.
Caster was a level 0, but this card is it's a 2 cost because if you get a 1-1, which is what they intend, then it's only 1 cost.
And then the
So
1-1 could
cost,
potentially attack if you left it in an open slot for a front row, so like then it's paying for itself.
So it's 1 cost to cantrip. It can never do anything but cantrip because you're not going to have 4 stock that you want to pay out immediately at level 1.
Unless
because why would you ever do that? That's just dumb.
Well, you're like panicking and you're out 5 because you triggered 4 climax. I don't know.
No, there's no reason to do that. So this is a I don't think it's even playable. I think it's just bad.
I think
the
it's
climax
bad.
The climax is I don't actually know what's happening. I don't know what's actually happening on the climax, but it's pretty cute. So you might play it out because it's a gate.
This gate? No, this gate.
It's a joke about Yuri.
Wonderful.
Okay. Sure. I'm not actually sure what she's physically doing. Like, is she jumping off a building or something? Or did she just smack someone with her bag?
She's turning around very over the top to get away from them.
I see. So next card. Maria, Bearer of Argetlum. 1 cost, clock yourself. When something true to yourself is placed to the climax zone, this is a +2 soul. If this is in the front row, you may pay cost. If you do, kill one of your opponent's level 1 or lower characters and give this 1k for the turn. When this becomes reversed, your opponent may choose a character in your waiting room and put it on top of the library.
I think this is a bad card.
It is a bad card. You're
taking 1 damage to kill a thing, and then you're going to take another damage.
And paying 1.
They're going to probably take another damage because of it, because it's still only 5,500 power.
Yes.
Wonderful.
If you're playing a Maria deck, you have a better level 1 combo with a better +2 soul. Like, if you want a +2 soul combo, you actually have a better one already.
Yes.
Woo!
And if you just want to play gate like a normal person, then you can play gate.
Bad card. Didn't even have to change my
rating. Sure, really overcost your ability to try to kill other characters in their front row.
Except when it's clock yourself until you hit a level.
I think they just... No, because, like, this card, compared to, say, the 1-0 Kanji from Persona 4 Ultimate, that card was so much better, even though it only hit cost 0s. Because it got 3k power, and it was with a gate, and la-di-da. Whereas this card has a demerit just because it has 500 more power, which is dumb if you ask me.
I think so as well. Next up is an alchemy card.
This card is just not playable because it's red, and there's no other red alchemy cards you want to play.
It is actually just bad. You're not going to win this.
It's not even niche because it doesn't have a role in the deck.
No, because your level 1 game is going to be blue-green. Next,
Alright.
We got 2 events.
So Ichival is the Chris event. We don't play that because Chris is a bad advanced summon. The old Chris's are also bad advanced summons.
I'd honestly be tempted to even call this event like one of the bad ones. I wouldn't run this, and I think it's actually a trap. This is a trap card. This is designed for people to say, "Hey, this Chris is really good. It would be even better if I played it early, right?" This is a trap. This is a huge trap.
Yeah, this is by far the worst of the advanced summons.
You don't even trigger on come and play effects. Like the Chris that you want to be advanced summon doesn't have a come and play effect. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, the only interval you would ever run is the
first set.
It's the first set one, the 2-3. It's a joke.
It's not terrible because you replace the level 0 they were going to clock kick with 12k and then realize that their card is bigger than 12k anyway, so you get clock kicks regardless. Yeah, it's a little bit depressing.
Well, you actually can't because the character that replaced level 0 is no longer a character within battle.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah,
Wait. Is the 2-3 a counter?
The 2-3 is a counter, but it replaces a character that's not in battle. So
wait. I gotta read this card now.
You're actually sacrificing the character that's being attacked that turn. You're sacrificing a different character, so...
Oh wow, that is rubbish.
Yeah, but it's still the best early change.
It's still the best Ichival because it's... but that one's only restricted to the Green Chris, which isn't bad, I guess.
Yes.
The Green Chris is extraordinarily average.
It's the only Chris that I believe has an on-play effect.
It's plus 2k to everything, right?
Yes. So that 2-3 counter effectively acts as a 2k all counter.
For three stock.
Yeah, but really only...
And you also get to play Chris, I guess.
Hey man, it's a sack counter.
No, it's not.
Is it?
No.
It's not a sack counter because you get stuck with a 12k.
It's a character outside of battle.
Yeah, and like you attack one of their weak cow cards and it dies anyway.
It's a character. Oh my god, this is the most troll shit.
Yeah, the card is hilarious. Like,
it's interesting. But that's all I'm going to say.
Anyways, I'd honestly give this card a bad rating just because I think it's a colossal trap to play this card.
Agreed.
Hey, this one is not a bad card.
It's the good Ignite module. It's a better version of Magical Girl Appears. 2-1 events. Choose up to 2 music characters in your waiting room, add them to hand, and discard a card to your waiting room. Then send this to memory.
Cool. I heard hand is great.
This really should have been add 2, ditch 2, because that memory ability just makes it better than Magical Girl Appears.
It's also bondable. It's a bondable Magical Girl Appears that sent itself to memory. Woo! So it's just like, it is just straight better.
Yeah, it's a
and Magical Girl Appears was a great card to begin with, so
yep.
I actually call this card good, despite the fact that it doesn't really do anything except fix your hand a bit.
I'm calling it good. Even if you're only playing...
it also keeps your level 3s on the field, I forgot.
Woo. Even if
you want to make... Go on.
Even if you're only playing 2 of this, it's still a good card, and I would want to run 2 of this almost always.
Not only is the effect good, but it also means that your your 3-2 Chris's actually do things, because otherwise they will just die.
However, if you don't run 3-2 Chris's, you might not actually want to play this, because then they have nothing to clock kick on their turn.
That seems like a waste of a lot of things.
It is a waste of so much stock in hand, you have no idea.
And opportunity.
Basically
cost.
everything. It's just a colossal waste of resources, but it's next level mind games.
So I'll get Lam. It is the 2-1 version for Maria. Like I said earlier, you play this card, bounce the 3-2, play another Argetlam, play another Argetlam, and now you've done 4 damage to your opponent, and now you have no hand, and hopefully you kill them.
I'm giving the card
no hand after looping that.
I'm going to give this card a niche rating, just because I think it's funny.
It's niche. It seems alright. Like, the irritating part is you can't even live the dream and, like, reshuffle your Argetlams in with your 3-2 Chris in order to trigger a book and draw another Argetlam to next turn.
Oh my god. But you can... Wait, is there no way to get Argetlam to hand besides drawing it?
No, I don't think it's
the 1-0 Kanade from the first set.
There we go.
1-0 Kanade off a climax combo that forces you to pay 1 clock yourself on attack.
Living the dream.
And it's a 2k1 soul to boot.
Oh dear god, the dream is fucking dead.
Stardust Photon, man. Sick card.
Well, on that note, with the dream in tatters, is red. I wouldn't say red is the best color, but it has the best card.
It's a pretty good color.
I don't know if it's the best color in the set.
No, I don't think so either.
But it definitely has. It definitely probably has like 2 of the best cards.
Technically, it had 2 of the best cards that the deck needed.
But like, I don't know if it's the best color. Also, Mega Death Fuga. What kind of name of a climax is that?
Oh, This is just from what I've seen of Symphogear, they just have attacks that aren't even that flashy, but have these massive splash screens with just
They have attacks that
words.
look very good on climaxes. It was like they were designed to work out that way.
He's
Symphogear
not
secretly
wrong.
Bushiroad's pet project. Fuck
Well,
Milky.
they've got 3 sets.
Fuck Milky.
They've got. Please no,
Cordelia's Garden unbanning when?
never.
Never.
While we still have
Alright.
healing magic.
So we'll move on to blue soon.
We'll be right back.